In Matthew 22, Jesus is asked, what is the greatest commandment? And he states, love God with all your heart and your soul and your mind. And then the second is to love thy neighbor as thyself. As Christians, we understand this, but unfortunately we live in a world that do not understand these commandments and they do not live by them. We live in a world that is very selfish and self-centered. They only focus on how they feel, only focus on what they want. They never look outside of themselves to see how other people may feel or to see how other people think or just to kind of try to understand how the other side feel. We live in a world where there's no discipline, there's no respect, and there's no love. And when you don't have that, it's hard to teach a person how to be lovable, how to care for other people other than yourself. It's hard to teach people how to not be reacting on emotions, but look at the whole situation and then make a decision based on all information, based on information from both sides, not from the side that you're standing on, but also look across at the information coming from the other side. When you live in a society like that, where everyone is self-centered and self-focused, it becomes very dangerous. When you live in a society where you can't even speak a thought, you can't even speak your opinion, not that you're being nasty, not that you're being mean, not that you're being cruel, not that you're speaking death on someone, it's just a thought you may have, just an opinion, just a question, just observing something. When you become afraid to voice your opinion because you don't want to get canceled, because you don't want to get a label put on you as being racist, as being anti-Semitic, as being homophobic, when you get to the point where you start being quiet because you don't want to get a label put on you, you don't build bridges, you don't try to understand, you build walls, you start separating from groups that you might offend because you don't want to have to deal with all the pushback or all the negativity that may come your way. So you start building walls instead of building bridges. And that becomes very dangerous when you're in society that has a multitude of people who have different opinions, who have different views, who have different lifestyles, who have different understanding. We should be able to communicate. It's not all about agreeing. It's not always about being right. It's about being able to communicate to someone in a respectable way. It's about learning how to treat people in a respectable way. A lot of people feel like you have to be, if you don't agree with a person, you have to be mean to that person. If you don't agree with a person, you have to be hateful towards that person. If you don't agree with that person, you have to wish death upon them or you have to threaten them. You can't say, okay, let's agree to disagree and just walk away from it. We live in society now, it's either a hard yes or a hard no. There's no try to understand each other. And then we also have double standards. And this is another thing I just, recently noticed with the situation that's going on now in the world. There's double standards. When Kanye West had made a tweet about a situation, that tweet was looked at as being anti-Semitic. Right away, the very next morning, people was on TV speaking about him being anti-Semitic, speaking about how they feel threatened, speaking about how his tweet is gonna bring certain things forward, bring more people out the woodworks and things like that. A lot of people, including Christians, automatically want to cancel Kanye. They automatically, pick the side. No one wanted to have a conversation and say, hey, let's talk to him and see what he meant about this tweet. Let's try to get a better understanding. No, it was automatically, let's cancel him. A lot of people that not religious wanted to cancel him. A lot of Christians wanted to cancel him. They just automatically wanted to cancel him. And then another situation that recently happened, and Kanye West is a Christian, and then Jamie Foxx is also a Christian. With Jamie Foxx, he was referring to a situation that he had dealing with a friend. And as Christians, we lots of time look at the Bible and we may use certain situations within that Bible to discuss what's happening in our real life. So, Jamie Foxx referred to the situation with Judas and Jesus, how Judas betrayed Jesus. He tweeted about that. Right away, he was told that was anti-Semitic. He needs to take that tweet down and he needs to apologize. So as Christians, we can't refer back to the Bible when we're talking about real life situation, because if you look at the Bible, you might as well say the whole Bible is anti-Semitic, because it's basically talking about Hebrews. So are we not supposed to be able to refer to the Bible when we're talking about our situations, or if we want to tweet certain things and reference the Bible to those situations? We can't do that as Christians. And that's where the double standard come in, because you have a whole group of people who's actually anti-Semitic. You have a whole group of people that actually hate Jews and want them destroyed and wiped off the face of the earth. You have students that's here on, some of the students are here on student visas. You have professors in colleges. And they didn't just start this now. They have been feeling this way about Jewish people, but they still are able to teach students to hate Jewish people. These students are still able to be in America and still voice their hate towards Jewish students. You have people in Congress, you have people in UN. Where is the outrage for that? Even before it got to this point, where was the outrage for that? Where was the cancel? I don't see anyone getting on and saying we should cancel this. They haven't lost their teaching position. They haven't lost their student visas. They're still able to come here and spill hate. But then you look at Christians and say, okay, now y'all need to be on our side. Now y'all need to pray for us. Now y'all need to show us support. But you wanted to cancel to Christians a while back. And so that's the problem I have with the double standards. As a Christian, following Jesus' teaching, I will support and still pray for Jerusalem. I do, and I will always support that those people who have been kidnapped are found and brought back to their families safe. I will also pray for the people that's on the other side, who's losing families, whose kids are dying, whose family, members are dying. I will still also pray for that. And the reason I do that is because I am a Christian, and because I have been taught by God, by Jesus. Like I said, the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. And the second is to love thy neighbor as you do yourself. So that means I'm supposed to show love and respect to everyone, even if they don't show love and respect back. But as Christians, because we are taught this by Jesus, we walk it, we live it. And so instead of being enemies, you should realize who your true allies are, and you should realize who your true enemies are. And believe me, it's not Christian, because when it comes to Jewish people and Christians, we do have the same enemy. We do have the same hate. With this situation with these Jewish families that have been kidnapped, there have been Christian girls in Africa that have been kidnapped, students, young student girls who have been kidnapped by Boko Haram. Some of them was able to escape, the rest of them wasn't. It's still 100 and some girls missing that was forced to denounce their Christianity and marry and then take up Muslim and marry Muslim. And I understand it's not all Muslim people that feel that way. It is a certain group that do hate Christians and Jews. And like I said, it's not everyone. I always say in every race, in every group, in every ethnicity, there are good and evil people. And so I just wanted to put that out there, that at some point we need to stop this double standard. If one person can't say something, then no one else should be able to say it. And I feel that instead of counseling people, we should just automatically say, hey, this is a teachable moment, and let's use it as a teachable moment and do just that. Stop building bridges. Stop building walls and start building bridges.